Just want to touch on accountability real quick in the mindset. Who's accountable for your mindset? Because I see a lot of people put their mindset, like their accountability of their mindset, on other people all the time. But at the end of the day, you're the one that's responsible for your own mindset. Like, we spend a lot of time traveling in the wrong direction in our mind. And you start spending enough effort into taking accountability of your thoughts, of the direction that you're going in your life. You take accountability of the mindset. You keep telling yourself you can't, you won't. Facts. No matter what, it's inescapable. You keep telling yourself that enough times and you're really in trouble. That's why a lot of people are in the spot they are. They've told themselves that story for so long, they truly believe it. And then they just live it out. And it becomes a part of their everyday lifestyle. It becomes who they are. It becomes what they are. And then they blame it on everybody else. The moment you try to interject some positivity, something, hey, try this, try that, they wiggle right out of it. They don't want nothing to do with it. They're just comfortable in that mindset of I can't, you don't understand. Yes, this happened, that happened, it was bad, it wasn't fair, all that stuff. Nobody's discounting that. But what now? What are you going to do now? What are you going to do with all that information? If you're traveling in the wrong direction, with the wrong mindset. I gave myself 10 years to stop drinking because I knew I'd been drinking for over 10 years. So I just naturally assumed, man, it's going to be 10 years. But I had to have the conversation with myself. Hey, you need to stop drinking. And then you need to do it. And then it's like, I'm going to stop drinking. I am going to stop drinking. It's not, I can't stop drinking. I'm never going to be able to. Parties won't be fun. Going to the Chiefs game won't be fun. All this stuff that we tell ourselves. I did all that. And I was like, it's going to take 10 years. It took 2. A lot of stuff led up to that point. There was a lot of stuff. But at the end of the day, it took 2. You tell yourself the wrong stories for a long time. And I started telling myself a different story. And lo and behold, it took 2 years. And then you can add that to any of these situations that you don't take accountability for your mindset. Because you can change that. That's the one thing you are in control of. It's very powerful. You can wield that shit all over the place once you understand what I'm saying. Once you understand that you're the damn problem half the time, more than half the time. It simply boils down to changing your mindset. Sustained. People say, yeah, I tried it. Did you? 1 or 2 times, couple days, 3 or 4 days. Well, I tried it. Sustainability. You have to you got to keep at it. You got to tell yourself a new story every day, all the time. That's what that whole 1 day at a time thing is. Because literally it is 1 day at a time. With anything you're trying to do and accomplish. So it's such as life. Controlling the things that are within your control. And that's something you can control. To a large degree. And it will take practice. You will have to practice and train yourself. You have to be able to make up lost time. People say you can't make up lost time. Have you ever watched a race? People get out of the starting blocks at all kinds of different times. And there's a person that really gets out late. And then we all sit back and marvel as they just they just catch it up and then just blast right by and just whoop that ass. Everybody's like, yeah, fire. That's you. That's everybody. Everybody's got it in them. But you got to train. You got to learn how. You got to learn how to control this here. All that stuff gets trapped inside you. All the stuff that you don't deal with. It gets trapped in here. In this field. in this energy field, this all kinds of religions call it all kinds of different stuff. Your heart is trapped in your mind. It's trapped in your gut. It's trapped down there. Can't get out until you learn how to bring it out. It's just stored in there. That's a big reason for a lot of sicknesses and disease. It's not all of it. I'm not stupid. But it gets trapped in all these areas. And then it just sits there for however long. Sometimes forever. And you feel those ailments. They start developing in all kinds of sorts of pains and madnesses in your mind, in your heart. All of it. It's all... It's not one size fits all. There's so many paths to the same direction, like to the same spot. When you start taking control of your mindset and learning how to do that and bringing it back to focus, man, we can do anything. But the one thing you can't keep doing is blaming other people for your mindset when you're grown. All that stuff is true that happened to you. Inescapable truths. But what now? You're an adult. You have to learn. You got to learn how to do this. Learn from the people that you feel comfortable learning from. And if it's not working, switch it up. Comfortable is a tricky word. You don't want to be too comfortable. Because it's the people that are all up in your shit that are the ones that care about you the most. Because I remember pouring my heart out. All this stuff happened to me. I finally told somebody. And they looked me dead in the face and was like, okay, now what? Like you're all, you've spent enough time in anger. You've spent enough time in all of this stuff. You've spent enough time dwelling on all that, haven't you? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, it's time to go to work. Like, it wasn't, this happened to you and, you should feel that way and it's going to take time and no coddling. It's time to go to work. I remember reading this book, Unhealthy Soul Ties. And I was progressing and leveling up in my life. And I'm like, I'm leveling up. And it's like there are so many things holding me back that I just wasn't letting go of. And it was like, it's because I had this victim mentality. And it was like this book taught me you can't be a victim your whole life. I mean, you can. Plenty of people do. But if you say you're elevating and doing these things, then you can't be a victim anymore. And it's like, man, and I owned to that. I was like, yeah, I dig that shit. Because I know what being a victim is. I know what all that stuff is. And I'm good. Don't get me wrong. Nobody is perfect and fixed and healed up to whatever. That stuff rises up. It comes up. It wants to do all kind of work in my life still. But I've got enough training. I got enough preparation. I know how to handle it nowadays. And you can too. It starts with taking ownership of your mindset. That's all I got.